It's been a long time.
We got this. All right, we're recording. So we are live. Okay, well, welcome, you guys. We're so excited to be here. It feels like it's been forever since Kayla and I have been on video together. So this is exciting. But my name is Auburnee Stanley. I am a sales director in Riceville, Tennessee. It's a little teeny tiny, it probably doesn't even show up on the map, in between Chattanooga and Knoxville. And I have been building my Mary Kay business for a little over 11 years. And I'm so excited because, and I know Kayla is too, Kayla and I have mastered facial boxes. This is one of our things that we've always done in our Mary Kay business to see more faces and advance in our Mary Kay business and meet new people and introduce more women to the number one skincare and cosmetics in the whole entire world. That's so exciting. So, we're excited to be here with you guys today. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I have a 14-year-old, an 11-year-old, I'm losing track, and a 19-month-old yesterday. That's crazy. Yes, we started over. And I've built my business in all the seasons of ups and downs and highs and lows. And so grateful that I've been able to be so flexible in my business. I've earned 9 cars, I think 9. I think we're earning our 10th right now, our 3rd pink Cadillac. And when I joined Mary Kay, I joined for the discount. So if that's you and now you're deciding, you know what, I really want to start working my business, but I'm not really sure how or to meet new people, I'm just here to say you can too, because I was in that position as well. So I'm excited to share with you guys one of my favorite ways to meet new people and all the numbers that go along with it. So Kayla, tell them a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Kayla, and I have been building my Mary Kay business for 12 years now. My team and I have earned 1 free car in Mary Kay. And of the 12 years, I was a sales director for 6 of those 12. So half of the time that I was in. And I just love Mary Kay so much that now I'm a virtual assistant. And I love so much just all the ins and outs of Mary Kay and learning all about the product, but most of all, just the people that you get to meet along the way. And if it weren't for Mary Kay, Auburnee and I wouldn't know each other. Nope. And so, but we've literally been joined at the hip since we met, working our businesses in every season of life. And if you don't have a good power partner, I definitely recommend getting a power partner for sure, because it makes this business so much more fun, We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about getting a power partner and why it's so important. And also, with working the facial boxes, having a partner too. So what we're going to do is we are going, I've been married to Jason for 23 years. I have an almost 20-year-old next month. Oh my gosh. Yes. 20-year-old daughter. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old daughter. So y'all pray for me with teenagers in the house. It is crazy hormonal right now. I just feel bad for my husband because there's no other males other than a couple of dogs. So it's crazy over here. So, but yeah, so like Auburnee said, I've worked this business part-time, full-time, as a mom and wife and all of the things. All of it. All of it. All of it.
And the thing that has always been the same is the faces. I mean, seeing the new faces. So I'm really excited about sharing about facial boxes today, because it has been such a huge thing in our businesses, no matter where we've been, sales director, not sales director, in a car, not in a car, a new consultant. I mean, we're all always at the same level, and it's just, it never changes. And I think I love that. I'm not really great with change. So I love the fact that the numbers never lie. And this business is not magic. So if you're watching this and you're like, I just never feel like I can earn a free car or become a sales director or a red jacket or make more money or whatever your dream is, your aspirations are, your goals are, it's all the same. if you're willing to put in the work, you too can have it all, really, truly. So I love that we've had moments in our business where we've been able to, Kayla's getting ready to finish completely almost building her dream home, which has been absolutely incredible to watch. And we're about to sell our home to build our dream home. Kayla helped us with that, helped us with the nudge. But just different seasons where you're able to work more to have those luxuries, or work a little less when you've got to be, the places you need to be. And I love that facial boxes are such an easy way to put a little bit of work in, and then it does the work kind of for you while you're able to do other things in your life. So,
Yes.
Kayla, what do you want to start with? What is a facial box? How about that?
Yeah, let's start with that. Like, what are we? Some
Even
of
talking
you
about.
may be like, what is a facial box? So,
Mhm.
Auburnee has one already made up. And so basically, what we do is we make up, and over the years, we've had different types. Okay. We have found that the cheapest way and the easiest way is to use those little bags,
Mhm.
shopping bags, I guess you could call them. Yeah. And those are the easiest thing. And then you put an ink pen on it, and you put your enter to win slip on it as well. And so, um, generally, yeah. And then we also have the slip on the front. So Auburnee's definitely customized hers. And we started with generic ones that we saw and heard from other Mary Kay girls. And over the years, we've just tweaked it to our own. We can definitely send the generic for you to get started with. And then later on, and as time goes on, if you want to change it, you can change it and customize it and all those things. And then we put an ink pen with it, and then the slips, the enter to win slips. So that's it. It's literally so easy peasy. So that's what a facial bag is. A facial box, facial bag. It is something that you can make. It doesn't take long at all to make them. I would start with, how many do you think they should start with, Auburnee? I have a number in my head. I just wanted to see.
I would say 10. I mean, minimally 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we always started with, was at least 10.
Yeah, I think I have like 55 out right now, but I just started getting back to facial boxes after COVID and getting my wheels greased again. But I would say to get any sort of result, that you needed to have 10 out at all times at least. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thinking back, I would say you'll have at least half of those that won't have anything in them.
Mhm.
And then 2 maybe that will have a bunch, and then 3 that have just a few in there, like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So, okay, they're brand new. They're going to go put out facial boxes. So why did we think it was a good idea to, why was it a good idea for us to partner together to do facial boxes?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay. So first would be because, as you guys know, if you've owned a business before, maybe this is the first time you've owned a business, it's very hard. It's very hard to work for yourself. It is. That's just reality. I think that's why a lot of women quit, is because they can't stay accountable and they don't have great time management. So when you find a power partner, it really does help with accountability. If you guys decide, and we would decide, the night before or 2 days before, like, this is what we're going to do. And then, that morning came up and you're like, gosh, I really don't feel like it. And a lot of the times we'd let ourselves off the hook. I mean, majority of the time, if we didn't feel like it, we would say, okay, I'm just not going to go today. Well, when you have a power partner, you're not really able to do that. I mean, that other person is counting on you. And honestly, it's helpful because if you're in a bad headspace, your partner can say, all right, this is what we're going to do today. Like, this is what we're doing anyways. I'm meeting you at 9. And so you've got that commitment to somebody else, kind of like if you worked a normal job. If somebody says, or your boss says you got to be there at 8, you're going to be there at 8, right? Because you're more susceptible to being accountable to somebody else. Don't know why. That's just human nature, but it is. So having a power partner is not only fun. I mean, you get lunch together and you get to chit chat the whole time, but it truly is a way of being able to keep each other accountable, I think, for the most part, because I've had consultants tell me, I mean, and I've been in seasons when I'm doing facial boxes by myself where I'm like, I'm just not going to go today. I don't feel like it. And so you let yourself off the hook, and then 2 weeks go by and you still haven't put out facial boxes. So when you find somebody that is kind of on the same level and wants the same things as you, it's easier to be able to commit to that and do it anyways.
Yeah, definitely. I ditto everything she said. Definitely. So one thing that we get asked a lot is, how far do you drive to go check these facial boxes? Where do you put them? Those are a couple of different, kind of a couple of questions all in one.
Yeah.
So I guess first, how do you determine how far out you want to go to fit these facial boxes? Like, where do you start?
I think you start where you're at. I mean, we live in little podunk towns, so there's not a lot around here, but we do have things within 20 to 30 minutes. And so I know that I'm willing to drive 20 to 30 minutes to party one way. So I would say decide first, okay, when I get a name out of here and this person books with me, am I willing to drive back here and party? So I do have now, since COVID, let me go off on a tangent really quick. Since COVID, I think there was good and great and bad things that came out of that, but I started doing facial frames that have a little QR code on them. And so when I've been on trips that are more than 2 to 2.5 hours away, I put those out. And so they're able to, I don't have to go back and check that frame. They're able to click the code, fill it out on the Google form, and then I can pull up their name. And so I'm able to book people virtually that are far away. But now, new getting started, I would say don't go anywhere past an hour and a half to 2 hours. You don't have to, and you don't need to. I think probably the question that's stirring in your head right now is, well, there's 5 other consultants in this town. So what if, well, chances are that those 4 other ones are not putting facial boxes out. Okay. So first dibs, that's what I got to say. First dibs. So get your facial boxes made and get them out, and get out to your closest little places to go. And we'll talk about where to take them in just a second. But I would say that if there's already a facial box there, Mary Kay etiquette and just human nature, don't put another box there if there's already a box. That spot is already claimed. So if there is already a bag there, don't put another bag there. And that's like, I feel like that should be known, but I'm just going to say it anyways, because there are times where we've been and there's a box sitting right in front of our bag, or there's a frame sitting next to ours, and that's just not, God will never bless that. So if there is a bag, don't worry, just go somewhere else. There's millions of places. The other day I took out 15 new in this area, like literally within 20 minutes of me, where I've never gone before. I don't know why, but I've always gone either way, an hour and a half. And so I'm like, I'm just going to put a few out here. I'm working in this new coffee shop here, and I'm just going to put a few out. And girls, I got all 15 out. Like, that's insane. Okay. There was not a facial box in sight. I mean, anywhere. So I was excited about that. But if you're willing to drive and you live in a rural area, then I think it is a great idea. I do have facial boxes, 45 minutes one way, 45 minutes this way, because it broadens out that, I want to meet new people. I want to meet more women. I want to introduce more people to the skincare and the makeup. And I want to be an impact to not just this little town, but further out too. And chances are you're there at least once a month anyways. So a lot of the times when we're, in different areas each way, you guys don't know logistics of where we're living. But if I'm 45 minutes this way, because we go to the mall or we go out to eat, then I stop and check a couple of my boxes. It doesn't have to be a whole day thing where you go out, and yes, we've done that before, and we've allotted that time to be able to do that. But also, Mary Kay, we preach about weaving it into your schedule. So if you're going out to eat, stop and check a couple boxes on the way. And then when you're getting ice cream on the way home, stop and check a couple more boxes on the way back home. So it doesn't have to be this big thing where it takes all of your day and it's a timely thing. It doesn't have to be that at all.
No. Even if you work another job,
right,
you still, go check a few after work or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere around in there. So All right. So next is the big question of where do you put these facial bags at?
Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, let me pull out my list real quick because I just put these out the other day. So I want you to think of places that women would be. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not talking like the gas station. Yes, we women go to the gas station and pump gas, but think about where quality women would go. Mm-hmm. Target market women, women that are getting their nails done, that care about themselves, getting their hair done, working out at the gym, going out to a nice restaurant for lunch, those type of places where you maybe want to see, you know, those quality people, not in the outdoor restroom at the gas station where you may get a drug dealer. Okay. Like let's go to places that you would like to be friends with these women. Okay. Not necessarily everywhere that women would go. So a lot of my places are nail salons, hair salons, gyms. I've even started branching out to these small little mom and pop boutiques and coffee shops in the area. I do have a couple restaurants. Those do really good, especially like not like McDonald's, but I'm talking like your closest Mexican restaurant or a Japanese restaurant where women would be maybe at lunch. There is this cute, super cute bakery downtown. And it is like adorable. They have totally outdone themselves with it, but it is a place for women. So there's a little place in there, a little box in there that I put. So places that you can think of that women would be the best in, like my best facial boxes that yield the most results come from like nail salons, gyms, Mexican restaurants.
Waxing places is good too. Waxing places.
Yeah, waxing places. Anywhere you can think of that women would be. And if they're at a hair salon, a nail salon, a waxing place, a coffee shop, they care about themselves or they're busy working women. So chances are they're using skincare or maybe they're looking for skincare. And why can't you be the person that introduces them to the product? So
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So another question that we hear a lot is, well, how often do you check these?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. So because I do have so many out, I think you have to, I think this changes all the time. You know, if you are new or maybe you're seasoned in your business and you're like, I got to get names and I need them now, then maybe put some out tomorrow on Tuesday and go back and check them on Friday. It's not a sin to have to do that, but you don't have to do that all the time. So maybe you need names fast. So you put 10 new boxes out tomorrow and then Friday you go back with some samples for those places and say, hey, I just wanted to check on these. That way you can gather some names and do that. But most of the time I check my boxes about every 2 to 3 weeks in each area. So I give it a good 2 to 3 weeks for them to just generate those leads. And then when I do go back, I don't take the bag. So I think this is a mistake that a lot of people do. I don't go pick it up and say, okay, thank you. Especially if it's only been there that one round. Okay. So this is a mistake that a lot of consultants make is they're like, there's nothing in here. I got to take it. Okay. But let me tell you something. Give it a couple rounds of staying there. If it's empty for 3 months, 4 months, go ahead and snag it. But chances are you don't go every 2 weeks and get your nails done, right? You don't go every 2 weeks and get your hair done or get waxed. It may be every 4 to 6 weeks. And so leave that bag there for about 2 months because chances are not everybody has seen it. Not everybody has been able to have the opportunity to put their name in there. So make sure you're leaving it, even if you're checking it every 2 weeks and there's nothing in it, for about, I would say 3 months. If it goes 3 months with nothing in it, then you can pull it and take it somewhere else, but give it that time to be able to generate those leads. So what I do is I go in and I'll tell you what I say to put it in there in the first place, but I just say, hey, I'm just here checking my box. That's literally all I say. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll see you in a couple weeks. That's all I say. It does not have to be complicated. Do not word vomit on these people. They don't care. Okay. They don't care. They're like, oh yeah, hey. Or, you know, they don't care. Just say, hey, I'm here checking my box. Here's some goodies, or I'll be back in a couple weeks. Like it doesn't have to be anything major and complicated at all. So
no, not at all. You can overcomplicate it.
Very much so. But I think like you can jinx yourself out of it, you know, because you get so nervous. So let me just say this, because since we're on the topic, what do you say to put these bags out there? Okay. So let's say I walk into the nail salon here. There's about 75 in my little town. So I know you can find some nail salons. I literally just walk in with my bag and I go to the front desk. No need to ask for a manager. No need to ask for the person in charge. Just go to the person standing at the front and say, hey, do you care if I leave this here? 99% of the time, they're going to say, yeah, put it over there. They don't even know what it is. They don't care. Okay. Yeah, just put it over there. But sometimes they'll ask, well, what is it? And I say, it's just an opportunity to for your customers to enter to win a free facial. And they're like, oh, okay. And sometimes I say, you don't do facials here, right? Like at the gym. And they laugh. And they're like, no, we don't do that here. So that literally what I say is, do you care if I leave this here? You don't have to say who you are. You don't have to ask for a manager. It doesn't have to be that complicated because you guys, you want to get it by fast. Okay. You want to get it out so it can start generating leads. Out of 10, you may have 2 that are thrown away, 4 that you can't find, and then 4 that have a ton of leads in them. Okay. That's why this has to be cheap, inexpensive, and fast, not take a lot of time. Hey, can I leave this here? And that's it. I mean, literally, that's it. And if they ask what it is, it's an opportunity for their customers to enter to win a free facial. That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. So now let's talk numbers. Like, okay, so let's say we have this bag and it's full of leads. So what are the chances of booking somebody and then holding that party or like all of those things? Let's get into that detail.
Yeah, that's fun. Okay, I love numbers because numbers don't lie.
Yes.
So I would say if you have 10 bags out in the next 2 weeks, you may have anywhere from 10 to 30 names. I mean, there's no telling, but let's say you have 10 new names. Okay. So they filled out a slip. What I do is I just take this around and throw them all in here. I'm going to give you a tip. Okay. On the back of your forms, right where you picked it up at. So that way you can say, hey, and we'll post scripts. Don't worry. Hey, you entered to win at Northern Delights Coffee Shop. This is Auburnee with Mary Kay. Okay. So out of 10 leads, probably 8 are going to respond back to me. I mean, they'll all usually respond because you say, hey, you're one of my winners. Is this the right number? 8 are going to text you back, maybe even 10, and say, yes, you've got the right number. Out of those 8, okay, let's say 8 text you back, probably half are going to actually book with you. So you'll have 4 new bookings. And then probably only half of those will actually hold. So out of 10 names, you may have 1 to 2 hold. Okay. And the reason for that is facial boxes are considered a cold lead. Okay. You're not meeting this person face to face. You have no relationship. You have no friendship. And so there's no connection. There's no, number 1, trust. And number 2, she doesn't care. It's like a dentist appointment. Oops, I forgot about it. Okay. So, the difference between facial box leads and meeting somebody in Walmart and saying, hey, I love your shirt. Can I get your number? I'm always looking for face models. Okay. The difference is that's a warm lead. She's met us. She knows us a little bit, right? We've talked face to face and we kind of have a relationship, where these facial boxes are, I don't know, I just put my name in one of those bags. So out of 10 leads, you may have 1 to 2 parties hold. Okay. 4 to 5 may book with you, but you're going to have cancellations because people that's just numbers. It's nothing you did. It's just numbers. I mean, dentists don't cry when you don't show up to your dentist appointment. Like sometimes we forget, sometimes we don't care, and sometimes we cancel, right? So the numbers never lie, ever, ever, ever. Yeah.
For sure.
That's why you need to have at least 10 out at all times. Yeah. And also, facial boxes should not be your only way of getting new leads. National Sales Director Brittany Ware always says that you should have 5 at all times. So you need to be having 5 different avenues of new names coming in. So that's facial boxes, that's referrals from parties, that's generating leads from what is it called? Honoring Working Women. That's going to Walmart and loving on some women. I mean, you need to have multiple ways of bringing in those leads because facial boxes are great, but they are cold leads and we've never met them before. They've never met us and there's no relationship there. So unless you have 50 out at once, that's the main source of my booking right now is facial boxes, then you can't get frustrated with the results because it's just numbers. It's just what it is. So,
yeah. And going into the numbers takes you the emotion out of it as well. If you know those numbers and you get it down pat, like we have, then you know, oh, this bag has nothing in it. Oh, well, that's okay. It's just part of the numbers, you know? And so I would say most of the time that we went out and was gathering our bags for the day, sometimes we'd have 20 names, sometimes 50, 75 if it was a good day, you know, in a big city. Because cities have, you know, places all over the place that you can put them in. So, all right. Anything else that you think we need to talk to them about facial bags or boxes?
I can post all the scripts and stuff in the comments, but yeah, I would ditto what you said about numbers. Just be prepared going in that, you know, I'm not willing to be frustrated, and action always triumphs frustration. So, you know, if you need a ton of new leads and want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bookings a week, then you probably need to have 20 to 50 bags out. And it may take you all day. I mean, it took me maybe 2 hours to get those 15 out the other day. That's driving and stopping and getting out and getting back in. I also had Cooper with me, my 19-month-old, so I had to get him out every time. So you could easily tomorrow on lunch break get out 10 new bags. Easily. You just have to make that decision and go put them out, because you're going to see the results, but you've got to get them out. I mean, you could truthfully get 10 out tomorrow and have some new leads on Friday, which is exciting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And they're quick leads too, you know, very quick. So I would just have to say, be consistent in checking them, and the people will get used to you coming every couple of weeks. Like Auburnee said earlier, be consistent when you're checking them, and have fun with it. Find somebody that work, you know, that you guys have the same schedule. You know, our kids were at school and we were both working at home, and it's no fun to work at home by yourself unless you're like super, super introverted. But we're kind of extroverted. So we were like, let's go have fun, you know, let's go work for a couple hours and
but we've also had snow days where we're like, oh crap, we planned facial boxes today. And so we loaded up all 6 kids in the car, y'all. We've done it all. So
yeah, we sure have.
We promised the kids lunch. We're like, let us get these bags out. And then, and they ask us the whole time, how many have left? How many have left?
Yeah.
Bentley and Bristol were the worst. How many is left? Yeah. And we're like, we're going to Chick-fil-A after.
Yeah, they got rewarded for just sitting in the car and being quiet.
So if you don't have a power partner right now, take one of your kids, take your husband, and promise them lunch when you get them all out. And I promise you, they will encourage you and push you to get those out, because they will want that reward at the end. I mean, Kayla and I would be like, all right, if we get these last 3 out, let's go to Marshall's. And then we'd go to Marshall's and be flying back on 2 wheels to pick our kids up from school. Y'all make it fun. Get a power partner to go with you, or take your kids and reward them. I promise you they'll push you. I mean, I remember multiple times in my business where I have incentivized things with my children, and they are the worst, but the best at pushing you and encouraging you. So maybe you don't have a power partner around you. Get your kids, get your husband on board, and have them help you. My kids love making facial boxes, I think because they know they're getting paid at this point, but they used to love it just because it was fun. But get some help and get a little buddy to go with you, and just do it. I mean, honestly, in the last, how many years have we done this, Kayla? I don't know, a really long time. I mean, years we've done facial boxes. At least 10. I mean, we have been doing facial boxes, and I can probably count on one hand how many people told me no. I mean, yeah, it doesn't happen very often where they tell you no. So, the only way to get past the fear and the anxiety of it is to just go out and do it. And I promise you, once you get 2 and 3 out, it becomes like an addiction, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't, like, you want to do more. So, and then you start seeing the results from it, and you want to do even more. So, get excited about them. They're really fun.
And something else that I just thought of that I used to do a lot, if it was like an hour and a half drive for me, we tried to maximize our time. We would do several parties in one day. I know several times on Saturdays, I would book like 3 appointments, 3 different parties in the same town, and just go from house to house to house to house. And I still have those customers to this day, So yeah, it works. It
I was
works.
telling my unit about that last week because we were talking about the results of partying. And I can remember in DIQ when on Saturdays is when my husband was working full-time in corporate America. Now he owns his own business too. You're welcome. But when he was working, Saturday was really the only way we could work. And I was holding appointments at 10, 1, 4, and 7. I would do 4 parties in a Saturday, and it was 4 parties for my week. And it took me one day, but I busted it out. And sometimes I drove 2 hours one way and I didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning, but it was one day, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. So
you're exhausted from winning, not exhausted from wanting.
Yeah. Yeah. Truthfully. Yeah. Yeah. And the results came from that. I mean, pink Cadillacs and bonuses. It's yeah. So virtual boxes are definitely the way to go when you feel like you're kind of stuck and you've ran out of people, and or maybe you just want another avenue of names and numbers coming in, so that way you can work it from different areas. And yeah, they're just a great way to start, where maybe if you are introverted, it doesn't take a lot. You don't have to have a lot of anything. I mean, as long as you can say, can I leave this here? You can do it. So, and if you have a driver's license, because you do have to drive around. So, but they're fun. And they've been a big, huge part of our success in our businesses.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all. If you guys have any more questions, you can definitely reach out. But they are self-explanatory and very simple. So I can post the scripts in the comments of this video, along with the entry forms and stuff like that. But you could always use Canva to customize those, or whatever you want to do. But just keep it simple. Mary Kay always said that, kiss, keep it simple, sweetie. Because you don't need something fancy, and worst case scenario, somebody throws it out, you go back and check it and it's gone. It's funny, you'll hear all the time, oh, somebody else took it from nail salons. It's hilarious. So you're like, oh, but truthfully, they just threw it away. So you can't be easily frustrated, and you got to be results. You can't be results focused. You definitely have to be focused on the fun of it and the work of it, because the numbers don't lie when you do that part. So
yeah, for sure. Numbers take the emotion out too.
For sure. Absolutely. So, okay, you guys. Well, I hope this helped. Kayla, you want to add anything?
I think that's it. Thank y'all for watching, and we hope you learned something. We hope you guys will take our advice, go put 10 out tomorrow, get them made up tonight, and go put some out. And
I mean, you could have 2 new parties next week. You could have 2 new parties on your books next week. That's exciting.
Yes.
That's exciting. So money in your pocket on your way to advancing in your Mary Kay business. So, okay, Kayla, this may have given me a taste of the olden days. We might have to do this again.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye, guys.